Okay. Oh, good morning, John. Um, so I've got these architecture demos that I'm going to put on for work, and I figured I would share what I'm doing. This one is supposed to be a hexagonal architecture, but more or less it is me figuring out how to use Xamarin and slapping an application together. So, standard development for the enterprise. Yeah. I do have requirements in the README, but they are, again, kind of slapped together, but that's kind of on purpose. I'm trying to keep them relatively simple, something similar to what you would get from the business for the hexagonal architecture version, since ports and adapters is kind of the development that your standard dev might try to do without having to involve the business in anything that's going on. Not Blazor mobile bindings, John. I'm just using just plain old Xamarin Forms. There's a chance that this is something that I will end up having to present to. Well, I will present it to our mobile team, but there's a chance that we might be forcing the mobile team to use Xamarin. They are currently native mobile developers, so we have one iOS developer and two Android developers. And we might be asking them to learn C# and Xamarin for this project. They're very agreeable to the concept. So either they just don't want me to see them complaining, or they're actually sort of kind of interested in it. So I don't know which. But anyway, so this is the hexagonal or ports and adapters version. It's got simple requirements, something similar to what you might expect to be able to get from your business analyst at work. And I'm just creating the application. Due to time constraints, you can see here I was going to try to do TDD, but due to time constraints, I'm actually going to avoid that. And then, since I want these to be proper examples, I will be making changes after I give the demos, but for demo purposes, I am just going to kind of speed through. I've already split the models out of the... Why is it not delete? Oh, because it's running. I've already split the models out of the main application. So now I'm just kind of pushing the business logic for certain aspects into this... it's not in the server, it's into this shared project. Boy. If you're doing a spike, I don't know that holds true. I am still trying to go well because I want it to be a decent demonstration of the architecture, but the focus is on the architecture, not on the coding practices, I guess. Like I said, I do plan on adding tests afterwards because I want this to be an actual good example. But I've just got to get the architecture documented right now. And the architectures that I'm planning are hexagonal, so standard N-tier kind of architecture. And then I'm going to try and convert that into DDD. So for DDD, I will be rewriting the requirements into a proper user story format. I will put some thought into the language that is used in the user stories. I'll be creating personas, so on and so forth. So for DDD, you need support from the business and business involvement. And so I will be trying to do that. And then I will be making changes to the code to represent both the language within the requirements and also the structure that represents the business that can be derived from the requirements. And then the last architecture is going to be a vertical slice architecture, so sort of a derivative of DVD. We'll use the same DDD. We'll use the same requirements, but the structure of the application will change. And I'm probably going to do a poor job of all three of these examples, but I'm hoping just to get something documented. One thing I don't know anything about Xamarin, so like they've got this mock data store, and that's cool. And I can convert this into a data store. Where does this interface define? Mobile service. Oh, right above. Duh. Okay. So this is it's all internally defined. That's cool. So that means that I can straight up drag this down into this shared. The only catch with that is I want the interface, or do I? Yeah, the interface would be in shared. But the implementation would not be in shared. The implementation would be in a data access layer of the client side. So okay. Shared is representing and that interface may not even belong there. I think I need a mobile a class library. Standard. And then we want to call this to do mobile yeah. I'm trying to keep my terminology straight. So technically for the hexagonal architecture, the terminology would be the UI layer, the business layer, a data abstraction layer, and a data layer. So one single plop. Yep. Okay. So let's see. To do mobile business, create. Okay, that's all good. And then I think I want to name this to UI, but it's I don't because there's mobile Android and mobile iOS. I'm just gonna leave it mobile. Okay. Okay. Yep. So then now the data store, which is technically part of the data abstraction layer, which I'm not sure I'm going to make a brand new project just for data abstraction layer, but I can at least put it in a folder. There we go. And then give it a new thing. So what's everybody up to today? Anything interesting? Just watching me struggle. Okay, that's there. Now we can come over here and we can say, add a reference to, yes, that. That makes everything work again. Okay, so the next thing that can go, this would be data. So let's make a data project. Not new item. New project. It is Friday. I'm super excited about Friday because Friday means tomorrow is Saturday, and Saturday I get to be in the garage. I get to put the final screws into the top of the stand for my metal lathe, and then I can start taking the metal lathe apart, cleaning it, re-oiling and making sure everything works right. And then I can start making chips. Super excited about that. Okay, so we're going to call this to-do mobile data. Okay, business data. That's funny how iOS keeps getting shoved down. Okay, so take that, drop it in here. Move it to the correct namespace. We reference the correct thing. We reference the shared. Yep, now everything works. Fantastic. We can come up here and delete that. And then we can delete this folder. I have not made a drawer cabinet thingy. That is something that I need to do for the lathe stand. I'm putting it off because right now all of my woodworking tools are clumped in a corner. I've got a brand new miter saw. I've got a brand new drill press. And they're still in the they've been in the boxes for months. They're still in the boxes, sitting in the corner, squeezed in between my wood rack and my old workbench table, which I'm planning to redo, but I need to make a miter saw station as well. I want everything in my shop to be on wheels because my garage needs to operate as a blacksmith shop. It needs to operate as a machinist shop, and it needs to operate as a woodworking shop. And there might be more stuff that gets added on eventually, but I want everything to be on wheels so that I can rearrange the shop as needed to fit the current purpose. And so I've got to find a miter saw station that works well on wheels, as well as a workbench that works well on wheels. I've got a few ideas, but nothing concrete yet. Okay. So now all these things seem to be okay. So somewhere in here, that mock data would have needed to be wired up, right? Register route. Item detail page, new item. Okay. Nothing there. App. There it is. Register mock data store. Okay. There we go. So this is where we register dependencies. Is going to be here. I know it's going to get louder because I just upped the fan, but I'm hot. Thank you, Florida. Concrete. No, I'm not going to be doing stuff with concrete. Well, unless I get a power hammer. If I get a power hammer, then that will be one thing that can't be on wheels because you have to beef up the concrete underneath the power hammer. So I'd have to cut a square out of the garage floor, make sure that it was, what is it, 8 to 12 inches thick of reinforced concrete with the rebar and stuff in it, and then I'd be able to put the power hammer on top of that. But I'm not getting a power hammer anytime soon. I might even go with a press before I go with a power hammer. Okay, so that's that. This needs to change to not be a mock data store. We're going to make this the real data store. So, is there no mobile data storage? I mean, there's got to be, right? Introduction to data storage. I don't really want to use a database. I was hoping that there's just... Okay, it looks like you use SQLite, like a local instance of SQLite within the application. I'm not going to get into that just yet. We will have an in-memory store, and then whenever the app fires up, we will grab from the server-side database using an HTTP call. That's what we're going to do for this app. Okay. All right. Okay, so that's there. Let's rename it to data store. Yep. Change all the things. Okay, so now we've got our data store. We can start manipulating that momentarily. The only thing left in the client, in the mobile side, is the view models and the views. And I think that makes sense to me because these are all UI interactions, 100%. So we should be good to move on now. Okay. Could I maybe even get done with this today? With the hexagonal part, anyway? That would be super awesome if I could. Okay, right, so let's start manipulating our data store. Or, no, I can't manipulate the data store yet. What I do need to do is I need to add to the to-do item. So it's got an ID, it's got a task. Is completed, and then is deleted. Oh, come, stop it! Oh, because I didn't put a bool. There. Golly. Sometimes I wish IntelliSense would just butt out. Okay. Okay, so the is completed, it's a to-do list. So the is completed, fairly obvious. You check it, and then the task is completed. Is deleted, I'm putting in there because, one, to maintain data integrity, so we're not removing stuff from the database for no reason. But also, if a user deletes a task and then 2 minutes later they're like, oh wait, I didn't want to get rid of that one, they could technically go back to like a recently deleted list and pull that task back in and undelete it. Not a feature we're adding, but a future enhancement. And yes, I'm gold plating. I'm planning for the future that might never happen. Deal with it. Okay. Okay, you talked me into it. I'm getting rid of it. Okay. So with the is completed, if I go to the, not the, dropping. If I go to the items page, which is where you can check the box, I don't think we don't need a detail page. I'm gonna get rid of the detail page, and then I need to go to, was it app? Or no, it was app shell. Yes, and I can get rid of this. We don't need that. There's no benefit to the item detail. Yeah, there is. Can I get changes? Item detail. Undo. Yeah. Okay. We might do something with that a little bit later. Oh, I need to get the other one too. There we go. Okay. Whatever. It'll fix it next time I open it. Okay. It's weird that it's saying that there's no reason to inherit, but I feel like, oh, because it's already specified in other parts. What other parts? I'm leaving it. Good morning, Ryan. How's it going? Just working on some architecture demos for work, so that I can kind of show different ways to approach an application for an upcoming project. No, we don't need that. Can we exclude? Whatever, it's included. Okay. So, yeah. So from the items page, we have this checkbox, and then is checked is going to equal binding is checked. Oh, it's in quotes anyway. I am not a Xamarin developer. I have no idea what I'm doing, in case anybody was curious. Oh, binding is... It's mad at me. I gotta wait. Well, yeah. I guess we were talking about that as well. Oh, okay, good. Okay, so now whether it shows checked or not is going to be bound to the model, and then we need to have a check changed, and then what we're going to do is we're going to fire a function. How are we doing this in other places? So command binding source equals, I don't understand what's going on. Oh, that's a tap gesture. Items view model. On appearing, on add item, that's in there. So how are we doing that? There it is. Command binding add item. Okay. Except there's a parameter. Now they're passing command parameter binding this. So can I do that? So if I come here and I say binding, and then it's going to complete task. Or complete, yeah, task. No. There's no parameter. No. Okay. Let me look it up. Unless somebody else knows. Bind all the things. Hello, is that Plato? Any Xamarin Masters out there? I don't know how to pass in the parameter of the currently selected item in this collection into the function. Well, I don't even have the function yet. Let me make the function. Maybe that'll make things easier on this thing. So if I say, well, I wouldn't expect that to be private. Or whatever. Private. Well, okay. It needs to be below it. Well, here's on item selected to do item. And that's what's... add item. Content. Load item command. So you can do a comma, but then there's converter, converter parameter, mode, path, source, equal, dot. I don't know. Let's see what that does. Okay. Private async void check task to do item. And then to do dot is complete equals true. So I guess now we can run the application and see what happens. Come on, Xamarin, you can do it. Well, it's mad at me. Still. Complete task. Just leave it that way. Okay, let's try again. Binding is checked, not found on to-do item. But it should be. It's completed. Golly. Cannot resolve in data context. Oh, it's, well, okay. So How do... Right, so everything inside the collection is bound to... Okay. So, how... Can it... No. Interesting. How can I bind... Any ideas? Let's see. I don't want it to just manipulate the model. It needs to trigger the update call. Now this is, I could do some kind of notify property change thing or something, but I don't know if that's the right action at the moment. That's why you shouldn't do demos and things you don't know. Oh, is that what they're doing here? It is. Okay. Oh my. That's not pretty. That's not pretty at all. Okay, so that's gonna be ugly. All right. All right. Selected item. Load items, command items, items tapped, is busy, data store, add item, command, title. Okay. So at least we're in the right location now. So if we come over here. Ah, okay. So here I can say public command to do item. And then it will be complete item. Right? And then I don't know how all this stuff is wired up. Okay, complete item is just a command. Ah, here we go. That is weird. So, complete item equals new command of to do item complete task. Right. Which is going to be on complete item. On add item, on complete item is completed true, except for really we'll do another thing. Okay. Path, complete item. Okay. Source is the ancestor. We're trying to find the items. View model, find, we find it. Path, complete item. Now down here where they're doing that, they have command parameter equals, and then they're setting the parameter. But we don't have that there. I don't know. Just try to see what happens. Oh, hey, Blazer, Mr. Magoo. I didn't see your drop there. How you doing today? Sorry, I'm not doing Blazer. I thought about doing this in Blazor, but since it's for a mobile project, I decided I might as well do it in mobile. It's mad at me still? What's it mad about? No property, bindable property, or event found for checked changed. Or... oh, bindable property. Is that a thing? Okay, how do we do that? Xamarin, pass context to, or pass parameter. Let's do parameter. Pass parameter to checkbox. not a JavaScript fan, huh? Xamarin pass parameter to checkbox changed. Checkbox.behaviors, behavior event to command behavior. Oh, well, that's the question, not the answer. Please edit your post using proper markdown so that blah, blah, blah. Okay, we've got this kind of stuff. So if I remove all of this stuff, okay, so we do a one-way binding here, so it should only update whenever it receives data. And then we add this behaviors thing. Okay, obviously it's not happy about that. Okay, we could be missing something. Or this is just wishful thinking by this poster on this forum. Yeah, come on. Are there... what do we have available? It is the right format, right? So we've got tap gesture recognizer. Maybe is there a no. Am I spelling it right? Wrong? Okay. Let's do that. So here and then behavior. No, there's nothing in the behavior namespace. Forms behaviors. I'll create a behavior. Numeric validation behavior, behavior entry, consuming. So entry.behaviors, and here they have behavior based on entry, on attached, on detaching, and then here behaviors, local numeric behavior. So it is automatically attaching okay, so text change is an event, and they're just gonna add, okay, I can do this. Okay, so let's go to the, well, let's make a new folder, I guess. You guys can't see what I'm looking at. This is what I'm looking at here. So it looks like we can create a class, and then we can say behavior checkbox right there, and then we can create on attached to, and then in on attached to we can do checkbox dot check changed plus equals, and then the functionality that we want to have. So we'll have to make some properties to consume the delegates that we want, but that should work just fine. And then so basically I'll create a command property and a similar to how they have here. I'll have a command property and a command parameter, and then whenever that gets consumed, it should do exactly what I need. I'm hoping. So let me just slide this back over here. Okay, so I need a behaviors folder, because behavior, because in hexagonal architecture everything's just broken out by folder or project or whatever. Okay, so new class, and we will call this a, it's not going to validate, it's just going to what? Changed event with parameter behavior. That's ugly. Okay, but whatever. All right, so we're gonna make it public. We're gonna say that it inherits from behavior of type checkbox. Okay, so we need a public command and public command public. How would you do that? Object? Maybe. Ooh, can this be of type T? And then I can say T. Command parameter. I'm now wondering if we go to the items page and we can see this. So this has a binding, and then it's going to pass the binding into the command. So what does this thing look like? Command property is a bindable property. Command parameter property is a bindable property. Okay. So what if we do that instead of what I was doing? Can you do a bindable property of type? No. It's all very confusing. I don't know what is going on. Okay, so now we have a protected override. Void on. Checkbox. Checkbox. And oh, you guys. Oh. Override. Void on. Detaching from. Checkbox. Checkbox. Okay, and then we have here we're going to have private void, and here we're just going to have on check changed object sender text check changed event args. Okay, double result. Oh, what am I doing copying their code? Okay. I don't need their code. Okay. So here we can say checkbox dot check changed plus plus equal on check changed base dot attached to checkbox, and then when we leave, minus equal okay, pretty simple. And then down here is where we got to figure out how to do what we actually want to do. So we want to command gets the type declaring, no. Okay, I guess we're gonna have to cast it. Command of something dot execute, and we're going to pass in command parameter dot what is it mad about? Okay, right. So ba, 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 ba. Let's see. I need to get the source code for this thing. Okay, well, I guess we'll start with the thing. Xamarin Forms. Can I search in here for this? There we go. Okay. Bindle prop. Oh my. Yeah, that's the one we want. Okay. So they have a bindable property, command property, and it equals a bindable property dot create command type of iCommand type of tap gesture recognizer null. Then this command parameter property, command parameter object, yeah, okay, and then return iCommand get value. Where's get value? Is get value just a thing? Wouldn't seem to be. Alright, let's steal these for a second and try to figure out what to do with them. Okay, so I've got that. Windows system Windows input iCommand. I think that's what they had. So it's command parameter. The only thing that it should be type of behavior checkbox. Because tap gesture recognizer is the housing. Right, if we go and look back at that code, tap gesture recognizer, tap gesture recognizer. Oh, well, then I could go this instead of that. No. In case anyone's curious, I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, down here. Alright, have a good nap, Mr. Magoo. Okay, so the way that they were using it is right here. So public object command parameter, public object iCommand. Okay, let's grab these. Public static read only. I don't. Nothing makes sense. Okay, well, I guess we already have get value and set value as things, because it doesn't seem to be complaining. Okay, so that's that. Now that's going to give us an I command and the object. So down here, can we simply say command dot execute command parameter dot, yeah, just command parameter? Does that work? And then here I would say changed event with parameter behavior. And then, yeah, include my stuff. And then I don't need this. I do need, oh, look at that. It's a cute little lowercase behaviors. Okay. So then I need, let's go ahead and do that. Not that. And then that. And then I need to steal this. And then instead of item tapped, it would be complete item. And yeah, we got one too many of those. Okay. Bindable property changed, huh? Name cannot begin with. It doesn't. Property buildable F6. We might be making progress. Thanks, Ward. I have no idea what I'm doing. As I said earlier. Copy paste for the win. This is either going to work and I will be super happy, or it'll blow up in my face and I'll have to figure out something else. I really don't like this binding syntax. It's very confusing. All this XPath junk. I would rather have nested named contexts where I can simply refer to the name. Or similar to, so, well, I guess this is where maybe the Blazor bindings from mobile would come in. If I could, instead of all this junk, if I could come up to here and I could say check changed equals, at open lambda fat arrow and go from there, that would be super nice. That is something that I will be doing, Ward. I will definitely be abstracting or extracting components. For instance, this stack layout here could be its own component, because that's a that is simply the display of the it's just the display of an individual item, so I'll probably extract that. Right now I'm just trying to get all the parts of the application to work. And this is a really simple page. Hey, build succeeded, so you can see what the application looks like. And we can find out if my behavior works. Now, if I pull this out and I go, okay, everything in this stack layout is its own component, a to-do item, display item, display whatever. Why is the application in break mode? Continue execution. I didn't tell it. What? Oh, I think everything's broken. Why is it in the break? Oh, system. Current state of the object. Well, then why won't you let me see what's broken? Is it here? I have no idea. Exception details. What is the... Stop it. Why won't it... I have no idea where this error is. It just blew up and gave up. What if we do that? Does it blow up then? Yes. Invalid operation. Okay. Yeah, I don't... Okay, so it's not necessarily that part. Let's go to the items page and let's just comment this out. That's what I changed most recently, so let's just get rid of it. Yeah, so it's definitely here is where it's blowing up. Now, I wouldn't expect... These are bound... Maybe they're bound two-way. If I refresh. Yeah, it's two-way binding right now. Which, you know, okay, fine, whatever. But that's not what I want to happen. Okay. And I've also got to figure out, you know, so like if is checked, then strike this through. And I don't know how to do that. So if, actually, it has to be style, comma, key equal, equal is, no, nothing. Comma, nope, I have no idea. So if I said nope. Yeah, I don't know how to strike through. But if, you know, if it's a completed task, then we want to strike it through maybe for a certain amount of time and then remove it when the day ticks over, when it's a new day. All right. Text description. Lol. None of that stuff's correct. Task. Yeah, this should be task, and the description is dead. Task, and now when we click it, task first item. Task third item. And there might be more details that we can add. But for now, no. Okay, so what if, to get started, we just make this a dummy parameter, and then we go to item page and we turn it back on, except since these don't exist, nope, since those don't exist, we get rid of those. So it should build now. I'm gonna stop it and restart it because I have no idea what I'm doing. Will that work? Is that gonna get mad? I think that's gonna get mad. Let's just cut that out. There. Now let's build. So Ward, they're probably like the idea for what I'm doing right now is trying to lay out the architecture suggestion for a new project that we have coming up at work. So I'm exploring. I already know hexagonal architecture in general. Just it's almost the default way that we develop anything, really. But because I don't know Xamarin, I'm starting with that one so that I'm not trying to learn too many things at a time. But also, I'm really just making up this app as I go. So breaking out the components would sort of be like a premature optimization. Now, in our actual project, the designer has already gotten to work, and so we do actually have design components that have been broken out and labeled. And we will, in theory, be able to start with those and build them out using the architecture that we decide to. But in this particular app, since I'm exploring and I don't know what I'm doing, it's easier to leave everything clumped in and then look for patterns after the fact. Okay, so this works as is. So let's see what about this was breaking stuff. So I'm going to do both of those and save and then run. Now those are public static, but they're not used by the application, so I wouldn't expect that they're going to cause any problems, and it doesn't look like they do. So now let's bring in those, and if I don't give them a value, we'll see what happens. Again, no breakage. Everything seems to be working. Okay. So is it whenever I attach? Is that the problem? Oh, actually, hold on. Before I do that, let me assign something to these parameters and see if that breaks it. See what that does. I guess it's possible that one of the parameters is non-existent. Yes, something is wrong there. Okay. So... oh, well, maybe it is an issue with the data store. Private read-only items. That happens on instantiation, and then so that's gonna always have a value. However, I'll bet. So we are saying get items async. So for a little bit at least, the the binding context and the view model. Oh, so the view model items does not have a value until okay. What's it saying? Property initializer value ignored during initialization. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say that it's a new list of nothing until we get something back, and I'm hoping that that will keep it not angry. Still got angry. Okay, I'm guessing it has to do with this. How it's saying that the property initializer is meaningless. Items. Oh, okay. Well, they're initializing it there, so that that wouldn't necessarily be the problem, then, would it? I wish I knew what was null. Maybe I'm just using an incorrect value somewhere. Let me go back to here. Okay, so we've got binding source, relative source, ancestor, type of items view model, path complete item. Which is exactly the same as this, and so is the command parameter. What if I set one but not the other? That one should definitely have a value. Maybe the command, maybe the dot is the incorrect thing. Because we'll find out. Nope. Okay, so... Dang it. What could be the issue? I'm open to thoughts, if anybody has any. Okay, let's see. The item page, internals, on appearing. So we're going to do view model on appearing. That's the detail. I got too many pages open. Let's close them out. Data source, data store, to do mobile, items page, items view model. Is busy true, selected item null. Okay. Excuse me. Could it be that? It's not like trying to run it like right off the bat, is it? Let me try that. If I change, that's still there. It'd be interesting if it's trying to run it right off the bat. Maybe it fires off a change command immediately. But then it should still be bound to something. No, that's not. Why am I unable to get the details of this freaking... Like, I want to see the stack trace. And I don't even know where the application is breaking. It's just breaking. Nothing. Show diagnostic tools. Nothing. Output. There's no line number, there's no file reference, nothing. It's just blowing up. And I don't... I mean, I can probably... items view model. I can come in here and set a breakpoint, and it should hit the breakpoint. Yeah, so it hit that breakpoint. Yeesh. That's a lot of junk. Okay. Now we're going to go get the items. Changed, invoke, property changed, events. That's the property being changed. True. Selected item, null. That's the end of on appearing. And then it just blows up. It definitely has something to do with my behavior, but I don't know what. Now it could be the set value of one of these. So let's try that. Oh, stop it. I would say this is equally as frustrating as debugging asynchronous stuff in Blazor. Okay, yeah, we know we can hit that one. Don't care. Yeah, then just boom. I can remove these and it runs just fine. Okay, well, I removed the one. And let me try removing that one. Maybe the other one works. I don't know. Okay. Okay. Well, that's something. Okay. Progress. So this is wrong, and I don't know why. Okay, so binding, source, relative source, ancestor, type, local, items view model, path, complete item. Now it's not complaining about this, but it is saying that complete item doesn't have a value. But if I come here and I say equals, then we get complete item. It's confirmation that it knows what we're talking about. What if I do add item? Maybe it's my function and not the actual binding declaration. Generally, I avoid debugging. No, so it still blows up. Now this down here is not blowing up. Oh, well, let's use the same one that they use and see what happens. So tapped, item tapped. So I have exactly the same deal that they have. Okay, is there a difference in the binding context between the two things? So we set our binding context. Where is it? Here. No. I saw it earlier. Okay, item source. So collection view. And the collection view goes all the way down to here. Then we have the collection item template, which is going to be a singular one of these items. And that covers the breadth of this entire piece. We do have a stack layout, and then a frame, and then a stack layout, and then a checkbox. But none of that should have changed the binding context. Which, the binding context for this should be simply the item, the to-do item. So but here we're saying that we need to find a different binding context. But it's a binding context that exists within the page, and it is the item's view model binding context, which is not here, but it is somewhere. Refresh is refreshing. Oh, right here. Data type local items view model. And right, because in the code behind, we're saying that the binding context for the page is items view model. Guess I just systematically opened every file in the solution. They never end. Okay, well, they end at some point. What am I doing wrong, or what am I missing? This is, for all intents and purposes, the exact same thing that I'm doing. Item tapped. Let's go look at item tapped. Is something about item tapped special? On item selected. So command to do item on item selected takes in a to do item. Private async void. And then Stupid. Okay. Now it's async. Is it the async that was the problem? So we'll find out. Would have been nice if it had said, this has to be async, instead of just, boom. Okay, so it's not the async that's the problem. Object reference not set to an instance of an object, but what the heck is... It's gotta be one of those statements. Of course not. Where is it blowing up? It must be blowing up while it's trying to evaluate that binding context. But I don't know how to troubleshoot that. I don't know how to determine which part of it is wrong. If I run it like that, are we getting get and set execution on the binding? No, we're not. So I wouldn't know if this was the problem anyway, because we're not breaking on those. That's very likely, John. It is likely that all of it is wrong. Okay. So those aren't going to be helpful. I could totally get behind the thought that I am just doing it completely wrong. If it weren't for the source code that I stole from Xamarin that they're using. And their stuff works. Now I realize it's not the same object. It's a behavior, not a gesture recognizer, but it's the same principle. I want to take an event on the object and I want to bind that to a behavior or a gesture. And it's happening during the binding, not during the execution. So it's not like the code that I've written is wired up incorrectly. It's just it doesn't like me. Behaviors. Is there behaviors? Interactivity? Behavior. Oh, maybe it's here? Let me override this. And just set a breakpoint. Still got all that junk there. Okay, I'm getting a checkbox. Literally the only thing this does is... What do they have it doing? It's just casting... It's casting the bindable thing to type of T, which is a checkbox. And you can see here, it's a Xamarin Forms checkbox. Is this a Xamarin Forms checkbox? Xamarin Forms checkbox. So... Okay, so we have a checkbox. Everything's working so far. What is command? Command doesn't have a value yet. Wait, what? Conditions.
Okay, let's try this again. Huh. Okay, so it's not that. God, what is the freaking... Yeah, unfortunately, Blazor and Maui are... Blazor mobile bindings and Maui are still effectively experiments at Microsoft. They're not officially a thing yet. And then Uno is another third party, and we're trying to keep things as simple as possible. But even Uno is just on top of Xamarin Forms, so I think we'd still have the same kind of issues. What is the frickin' problem? So the behaviors are initializing successfully. They're all finishing their attachment process, and then I'm guessing when it is setting the value, it's blowing up. I mean, I can come in here and I can say, like I said here, I can just say, new command of object, or new I command, new I. What does I command specify anyway? Maybe that's the problem. Can't execute object parameter, blah, 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 stuff and things. Windows input. But this is what they're using, right? No, it's not. Oh, I'm in behavior now. Let me go back to here. And then go to... What was it? It's tap gesture recognizer. Yeah, system Windows input is what they're using. But is the... Okay. Is the... It's just a property, though. It shouldn't matter. Hey, Wesley. So I've got... we've got a new project coming up at my work. And I've been put in charge of determining the architecture. And even though I'm generally a web front-end developer, it is a mobile application. So in order to explore a couple different architectures, I'm creating this what's supposed to be simple to-do list application, and I'm basically going to create the same application in hexagonal or ports and adapters architecture. So that's kind of like your default n-tier architecture that you would be using at work. And then I'm going to switch it over to more of a DDD architecture. So, yeah, I did break something. So that'll be better user stories with personas and ubiquitous language and well, in this small example, there's probably going to be a single bounded context, but using the language of the business and using that to drive the functionality, which should inform different paths for the API and for the mobile app to be built upon. So that'll be a big refactor, and then, or I'm expecting it to be anyway. And then I'm going to do it again using vertical slice architecture, so that's more CQRS. So we'll have, I'm not going to use Mediator, but a Mediator style application where there are a series of effectively functions. I haven't decided whether to use actual functions and curry and dependency injected values, or if I'm going to use classes and those classes can have dependency injection. But effectively, functions that will be passed around the application that do a single thing. And then whichever page needs whichever function would just inject that singular function. Also, at some point, as Ward suggested, there will be a component breakdown to isolate unique components for reusability and ease of maintenance going forward. Right this second, I am simply trying to get when you click a button, or when you check a checkbox, I want that to make a database call to update the item, and then return the enough information so that the UI can be updated correctly. Not so much luck. So if anybody has any Xamarin Forms knowledge and knows how I can accomplish what I'm trying to accomplish, I am all ears. I have this. This comes with the application. These gesture recognizers piece, and so it uses a tap gesture recognizer in order to this item tapped function will right here will open up the details page for. You do? Oh, you're my new best friend. As my 3-year-old would say. Okay, here's what I want. When I check this box, right? So I've bound to is completed, which really I want this to be a mode. Was it mode? Mode one way. So that it only gets fed data. It can't actually push any data. But I want, when I check this box, I need it to execute a function on the view model to complete that item. I'm trying everything just to isolate issues. But so it's not actually doing anything yet. But the problem is, based on this gesture here, this tap gesture, I've copied this pattern and I've made a checkbox behavior, but the same command binding that works down here to say use the view model and execute this function, but pass in the currently selected item, or the item for this row, it's blowing up somewhere in the usage of this line. It doesn't blow up for the command parameter line, but it does blow up for the command line. Now, if you have a simpler way to check a box and have it update the database, I am all ears. You're saying with like a I notify property change kind of thing? Well, so you want to walk me through that? Because I've used iNotify property change in Blazor, but I've never done Xamarin, so I don't know how to do it in here. But you're saying I can get rid of this whole. That's X is not what I wanted. I can get rid of all that, and so we don't care about that. And then so I've got is checked, binding is completed. But is there another thing I can? Everyone's got talents, John. Okay, so the view model. The view model is this is the only. It's got items, the observable collection, and then I was gonna add. I'm trying to add this complete item thing. Is completed is on the model, not the view model, and that is down here in shared space. So it's just a Boolean property. And if you want, I'd be happy to send you a live share link. Then you could view, cruise around, and look at everything. Probably be asking for it, but there's only 5 people on the thing. What's the worst that could happen? Yeah, let's get dangerous. Nah. And just come here and I can say, oops, live shared to the world. There. And I can say, live share thing. There we go. John, we got to figure out how to give bonus points or something. All right, that'd be something we could do. Okay, so this puts functionality in the model, though, doesn't it? When you only really generally have that in the view model. And then the fact that this is shared, would that cause any problems? Like, my general goal is to be able to use the same model of for the application and then also for the API, so the API can communicate the way that the app wants to. This makes it more of a like an active record thing. Yeah, I know I can do like a I notify property change and then private bool is checked. Whatever. Do that, and then here it would be equals value. And then here I would do, well, I got to implement the interface, right? I moved my mouse, now I'm grabbing it air. Okay. What are you doing down here, you dingleberry? Get up there. Okay. Yeah. And then, so here I would say, on property changed dot, nope. Oh, on property, that's interesting. And then it would be name of is completed, like that, right? But then, like, for every item in the collection, I have to listen for that change. So if I said items dot collection changed, plus equal, yep. For each items, if item dot property changed, well, nope. All right, I didn't understand that last part, Wesley. Your checkbox also has on check that you can use a behavior to commit. Yeah, well, so what I was trying to do is there's a check changed is what I was trying to convert to a behavior. was trying to convert that. And that's what all of this mess was. See, so I've got behavior checkbox, and then I didn't know how to do a behavior, so I was referencing this because this is doing nearly exactly what I want. It's just a gesture instead of a behavior. So I thought, okay, I'll copy the pattern that this is using, and then the only thing that so this was value. The only thing that I'll change is what happens, right? So, like, I found this. So they've got a behavior for an entry, and then on attached, they add a thing, and on detaching, they subtract a thing, and then whenever the event is fired, it executes this function, which is exactly what I want. And then here's how they use it, which, okay, cool, fine. But, oh, and then here they're getting into it more. So this seems like what I'm trying to do. Yeah, it's slightly different. But same idea. They're using this bindable property thing, which is you know, what I'm doing based on the example from the gesture that I looked up the source code for. And then I don't know what all this mess is, but like, is there something wrong with this that's making it not work? Do you know? This I command seems a little suspect because it's coming from system Windows input. Even though that's the one that they use on the well, let me look and see what they did down in the thing. They have bindable property attached, create attached. Create, it's not create attached, but return type. So if I did like return type an action of can you do T in like can I do that? Does that work? And then that part would be fine. So it's a gripe. Oh, because T. And then this wouldn't be object, it would be type of T. Like, here's what I'd want to do. And then this would be an action of type T. I mean, that's closer to what I want to do. I don't know if it works. And then how does this work? So yeah, no, of course that doesn't work. Does that work? No. Oh, you added a text file. No. Let me see. Where at? New text file. Name of event name. Namespace. Behaviors. Okay, so is that a... That's not mad at me. Is that some kind of new fanciness I don't know about? Um, oh, come on now. It really doesn't like me. Okay, let's try that again. Huh. Behaviors event to command behavior, event name, item selector, command, stuff and things. Okay, okay. So just take this. Right, event to command. Yeah, so if I go to here, then instead of that it'd be that. And it's mad. I don't know what the heck is going on here. Let me just grab that. Do that. Okay, it's gonna... It's very... I think it's very confused. Okay. So... Yeah, it's very... Okay, I'm gonna close it. And then reopen it. I think it's confused. Might end up having to do a clean rebuild anyway. We'll see. I just figured the combination of live share and me changing the file name and stuff, it was just borked. So, restart. Okay, so this. Why is it not trying to extract that to a new file? Okay, let's try this again. It might still be very confused, I think it is. Clean solution. Well, let's do that. Oh. Takes so long to build. It seems a bit silly to me that they don't include this kind of behavior out of the box, because it feels like something that is going to be necessary for a lot of applications. Header in what file? Oh, that's stupid. All right, well. It should just add stuff. It didn't like this file, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything in this file, cut it, put it over here. There we go. Now we're seeing stuff. Yeah, I just really didn't like that file. Probably because I renamed it. Not remove unused. Move. It's not unused, right? Isn't it used by the thing that you made? Behavior base. Oh no, they're both using. Okay. And then this file is now should be junk. Okay, so all right, so we got this, and this is the magic one, right? This is the one that should be magical and should work. So let's go here. Is that right? Why doesn't it see this one? sees this one. Yeah. I can reopen the live share. Here you go, world. Okay, so I think that it would be working, but it's being weird again. um, no. Okay, it recognizes this one. Come on, delete the file. Okay, there. Now, there, okay, so now, there we go. Yay, okay. So then, command parameter, and you said like event name. So this would be check changed, and then these two pieces would be pretty much what I was putting in earlier, right? They'd be copies of these, but with a single change. So instead of item tapped, it would be complete item and binding dot. So it'd be like that. And then in the view model, I need to add that part back on. So complete item equals new command of on complete item. And then for right now, I won't do anything, but eventually it would do a thing. Binding changed command. Well, so the well, at least we're getting, you know, I'll blow up in a place that I can see now. Can't register the whatever event. Check changed event. Now, why is that? Associated object is a checkbox. Maybe I spelled it wrong. Okay. But it's better than nothing, though. That at least gives me a... Okay. So we come over here, and we have... checked, changed. Okay, let's try that again. So the binding context, since we are iterating over a collection, is on the item, but the method to go and make the data... It's blowing up still. To go and make the update is on the view model. So don't we have to do this? Because if I just do that, then it doesn't understand it. It can't resolve because it's on to do item, not on the not on the view model. Local on the view model. Yeah, and then path equal complete item. I mean the oh, I don't need a thing. The IntelliSense is telling me that I've got everything right, but we're still getting the same error that we were getting with the code that I had before. And I certainly like your code better. It's more thorough and more fluid, but I'm still getting the same stupid error. And it's a very nondescript error because all it says is that something blew up, but it won't tell me what. And there's no stack trace. There's no nothing. It's just, boom. Operation is not valid due to the current state of the object. Any thoughts? Yeah, got our meeting in a few minutes. And this is the thing that I thought was going to be easy. Okay. Yeah. So go back to here, and instead of all of this, it would just be complete item, and then so I'll just copy. I don't know if this is gonna work or if it's gonna get real mad at me. Annotations. What in the what? JetBrains, what the heck are you doing? Get that junk out of there. Okay, whatever. So we'd have to install the package. Poop. I think we'll have to, we're going to have to move this back into the Xamarin project in order to get it working. So just delete it from there, and then it'll be up here. Get that out of there. Oh, it took away all the junk all the stuff that you added. Go figure. Okay. That's it. So it's public command, complete task, public command of to do item complete task equals, and then right line, so something like that, right? Well, so I want the to-do item to be strictly a model, but I want the view model to be able to update the database and then retrieve the item back and then push the update. Yeah, I just want the to-do item to be a stupid data object, not no functionality to speak of. Okay, how many places in the app did I just break? Seriously? Oh, dang it. Okay. Okay, doing the spike that you're wanting to do basically requires me to walk back every change that I made this morning. Which I'd rather not do. I just don't. Why does this process, why does it work down here and not up here? And I would agree that I'm trying to use a model as a view model if we were in a component that where the to-do item was the only thing in the component. But we're on the list view and the view model, and I didn't make this page. This is I've modified it, but this is the demo that comes with file new Xamarin. The model that they had when you created the app was an item, just item, model item, and it had a text on it and a description. And they had this page, and it had a list of that model as the view model's model, like the model that is part of the view model. But the item itself was just a model in the list. Now, they weren't modifying the model from the page, but, and maybe this is where I'm going wrong, but maybe it'll get simpler if I extract this stack layout to a component that I can use. Yeah, so maybe, okay, so maybe let me walk back the things that we've just done, because shared is where this should live. That's data shared. Okay, so we can get rid of that. And then really, we can get rid of all of that. And then get rid of that. And then get rid of that. And we're back to a dummy object that just represents some core values and some validation stuff. Then if we come over to stuff, okay, so yeah, go over to here and we say, yeah, import the missing references, just shared, all of that's happy again, and then come here and I'll delete that. Okay, we're not going to have it. Sure, save, whatever. Word must have taken a few minutes off. Okay, so I'm going to leave that because we're going to use that. Can I get it into different files now though? Just want each thing to be. Yes, I can. Okay. All right. So okay. So we've got this. But if I were to take if I were to take this right here, this is the individual display. Can I make this a component that I can then use inside of here, where this would have its own view model based on the item model that's passed into it? Well, but then how? Okay, let's start with that. Is that something I would do? No, Victorian. Is it I'm gonna say Victorian. Not Lua. This is Xamarin. Using Xamarin Forms, trying to make a very simple application. It's not going so well for me at the moment. I tried to do a thing, and it didn't want me to do the thing with the way that the application was being created at the moment. So I'm trying to figure out how to modify that. So if I created a new XAML, is there a new Xamarin Forms? There we go. A new content view. Is that what it would be? A new content view? Or a new view cell? I don't know what the difference is. Content view, okay. And we'll call it item summary view. Something like that. I don't know. Okay, content view, content, stack layout. Okay, so we just go grab the stack layout from here and paste it in here. Okay, and then that's fine. And here we can have complete item because that's exactly what we want. And we can bind, so we bind to item, which will be a thing. And then is completed. Yeah. Okay. So, or actually, I can bind to this because I can extend the view model can extend. Dang it! It has to base view model. There's not like a thing, is there? No. Crap. It can wrap it, but it can't extend it, so that stinks. Okay, so technically it would need to be item. Okay. All right. So then let's create a view model for this. So add class, and we'll just say item summary view model. It's going to inherit from view model. Come on, base view model base. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna have public item, to do item. Except it's gonna be get value Is that wrong? I have no idea. Let's just get set. I'm sure one of these has stuff. Okay. Task, set property task value. Load item. Okay, so we need to do it like this. So, yeah. So, private to do item. Item. Item, and then set is going to be set property ref item value. Okay, so item, and then we had a single command for the moment, and that single command is complete item. It's going to take in a to do item. It doesn't need to take in anything, does it? Because it's just going to use the item that we have here. So, right, and then await task, complete task. So we'll start Okay, so then we come over to our item summary and how in the world, oh, binding context. We need to set binding context in the here. As equals view model equals new, no. Item summary view model. Something like that. I think that's what they're doing in the other ones. Okay. So, is it going to get mad at me if I try to use this? Page. So if I get rid of that and I say item summary view. Yeah, one of those. Is it, I mean, I have no, what's that do? Oh. Guess we gotta fix all the whoopsies. Okay, fantastic. So we've got, well, it's rendering crap, but it's doing a thing. Okay, so now we need to set set the view model somehow. So if I go and I look at, let's say, items page, refresh view, data type command, load items, that'll get that. Item source. So maybe I do a source or an item source. Let's do source. So I come over to here. How are we doing that in other places? Binding. Da-ba-da. It's just always new. How does it get the right one? Okay, so if we go to the page, it's going to execute item tapped, which is on the items view. Item selected is go to async item detail page, and then item detail view model equals that, which is and then it's gonna open up the, okay, it's gonna load the item using the day. Okay. Wait. Oh, come on. Where's the thing? Items, view model. Okay, we're gonna... How does it know to... How does it know to grab this query string? May not be helpful right now, but I'm curious. Okay. So we've got this. Somehow we have to set the thing. And all we really need to do is set the item. So... items page. We're going to render out this thing. And there is presumably no... yeah, nothing. So I need to make... well, I need like source equals binding, something like that, right? And then it'll, and then I need, like, I feel like here there would be a binding property source equals get set equals binding property create property name nope, I have no idea what I'm doing. I could say to do item source, and then after we set the binding context, I could say binding context dot, oh, view model item equals source. That made it not be mad at me. Oh, well, almost. No, mismatching. Oh, let's try again. No. I think it has to be a binding property or a bindable property or whatever that is. Alright, well I gotta wind down for the moment. I will yeah, I'll be back after lunch, and I guess I will continue trying to figure this out. I just need to be able to get it to execute a thing when I check the box. And then once it does that, then I get to tackle my next favorite thing that I was going to do, which is striking through the text, which I have no idea how to even start doing. And then that will cover, if we look at the README, we can already add a to-do. We cannot remove a to-do, so I will need to do that. Right now I'm working on completing a to-do. Authentication is something I'm probably not going to tackle. And then a journal and highlighting are something I am not going to tackle. I will tackle them eventually, but not for this because of the time constraint. I have to finish this example by the end of today, and I'm really not getting anywhere. So I'm going to sign off for now. I'll be back on after lunch. Hopefully some of you will arrive for that as well. Is there... John, you still on?
That's unfortunate.
Oh, there we go. We can raid Lana. I will definitely do that, Wesley. Okay. I'll do that real quick before I sign out. Oy vey. Nothing is working. Okay, okay, let me make a branch. New branch. Not main, but instead we shall call it task complete. Create, save, commit all, push. Okay, there we go. Alright, that is pushed up. So now I gotta, how do you raid? Slash raid. That seems too easy and probably wrong. That's wrong. Oh, wrong slash. Go figure. Oh, stupid. Alright, I'll catch everybody after lunch, hopefully.